This is the second beekeeping homework and will focus particularly on swarming, on bee diseases and on honey processing. This beekeeper is aiming not to knock any bees off this swarm before he can lower it into a container. He's already carefully removed some of the branches that were around the swarm. The first question is, the queen in this swarm, is she likely to be mated or not mated? Write your answer down on the Word document. Okay, and what's this here? So here we are in March still. Unusually, this was found at a routine hive inspection at the end of March. What is it? And here we are on the other side of the frame. And there's no unsealed brood was found in this colony. So how much time must have passed, at least, since the last egg was laid? We are about to do a demery method on this hive. It is being run on a double brood box. Boxes A and B both have brood in them, and box C is a super. Which box should the queen be put in? How much brood can be put into box A? Should the super stay in the same position? Which boxes should the queen excluder be placed between?
Rake them right down into my nuke box. Woo! Next installment.
Whoa! Lots of bees.
I have 2 frames of drawn brood comb in there, and they hopefully will recognize that and adopt that. We'll see.
Yeah, lots.
What other technique for capturing this swarm might have been more reliable?
Mainly we're looking for the perforated little brood cells. So if they've been picking at them, perforating them, that's usually a telltale sign. These girls were not really, none of this was very badly infected, just a little bit, so just early stages. So but we'll have a look if we can find the one that we picked apart. You see how they're sunken a little bit there? That's the sort of thing you're looking for. Anyway, here we go. This is what you don't want to see when you're in this bloody mess. You just get your matchstick and swirl it around there a bit, and you can see it's sticky out. See how it's sort of sticking to your matchstick? Like I said, it's very early stages, so they weren't too bad really. But it doesn't matter. Bad enough. Came back positive, so that's the end of that.
What disease has this colony tested positive for? You are checking for bee diseases and examine this brood. What would you conclude? You are examining another colony and note this brood. what would you conclude? You are concerned that the queen has died, and note these cells. What do you conclude? Two weeks ago, you made up a 3-frame nuke with a right queen cell. You've not seen any brood in the nucleus since, and this is your latest inspection. What do you conclude? This colony does not seem to be building up properly in the spring. You examine this frame. What problem are you concerned might be present?
Grey and white mummies they're pulling out. But the only
What disease causes this finding at the bottom of a small colony? On a routine inspection, you notice something wrong with a couple of your bees. What should you monitor for? Okay, so I'm just going to shake some bees into a bucket. Okay, so there's a bucket of bees. I'm going to take half a cup and here's my container that I'm going to put them into. So there we go. Half a cup is a commonly used measure for a known number of bees. How many bees should there be, roughly, in half a cup? 2 teaspoonfuls of powdered sugar. So this is sugar that I've powdered just a few minutes ago in the kitchen blender. I'm going to put around about a tablespoonful into here. Okay, so I've put that in amongst the bees. With a lot of sugar is you should standardise everything. So I'm going to roll these for a minute. Okay, so I've started that timer going and I'm going to time for a minute while I roll. What is the effect of powdered sugar in this monitoring technique?
All of this is uncapped, so that's probably just like...
These are 2
10%.
super frames. The one
one's
on
more
the
like 70%.
right is more highly capped than the one on the left. What is the significance of this when it comes to extracting the honey?
I'm cutting out comb honey. It is beautiful. Oh man, this is beautiful. Now, I'm taking this out of the super. There's 10 of these frames in the super. We call this right here, we call this box here a super. And 10 frames of comb honey will fit in there. For the benefit of the beekeeper, this is the shallow frame. You have to use a shallow frame. I made this marker here. This is the very first time I made this. It did good. These are razor blades, and I marked the comb where to cut it out, so it will fit in that little white box. All right, now I'm cutting across the top with this very thin blade knife. All right, now I'm going to cut out this first section, and I look and see the prettiest side I will put down because it's going to end up being on top. This is the richest man in the world cannot buy better tasting honey than this. It's delicious and it's beautiful.
This super frame is being cut up to produce a particular form of saleable honey. What is this form known as? What is it that makes this uncapping knife work faster? What is this tool? What is the main thing being removed from the honey by this filter? What are 3 of the things that need to appear on the label of a jar of honey for sale in the UK?